Since the moment you took your first breath, the world around you started shaping your reality. You were given a name, a nationality, a belief system, an identity carefully constructed for you. But what if that identity is nothing more than a well-crafted illusion? A fabricated story designed to keep you small, disconnected, unaware of your true nature. What if I told you that you are not just a person, not just flesh and bone, but a fragment of infinite consciousness spread across dimensions, experiencing countless realities at once? The world has convinced you that you are a single entity in a linear timeline, moving from birth to death, trapped in the confines of time. But this is the biggest lie ever told. Think about it. Have you ever had a moment where you felt like something was missing? A deep, unshakable feeling that there's more to you, more to life, more to existence than what you've been led to believe. That's not just a random thought. It's your higher self trying to break through the conditioning, the programming that has kept you locked in a narrow version of reality. Ancient knowledge speaks of a cosmic wealth of possibilities, hidden techniques that allow individuals to access higher consciousness. Yet this wisdom has been buried, ridiculed, or completely erased from history. Why? Because an awakened being is uncontrollable. A person who knows they are multidimensional is a force too powerful to be manipulated. But here's the real question. Who benefits from keeping you asleep? Who has constructed this reality in a way that makes you forget your inner power? Religions, governments, media, all enforcing the idea that you are limited, that you must obey, that you must conform. The moment you start questioning these narratives, the world calls you crazy. Why? Because the system cannot afford for you to wake up. The second you understand that your consciousness is infinite, that your soul is an eternal traveler between dimensions, the illusion starts to shatter. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. But this is just the beginning, because if your reality is nothing but a construct, a program, then there must be proof. Undeniable, scientific proof. And that's where things get even stranger. There is a forbidden truth hiding in plain sight, one that scientists stumbled upon but were too afraid to fully embrace. Reality does not exist the way you think it does. The solid objects around you, the rules that govern space and time, even your own physical body, none of it is as real as it seems. Quantum physics has proven something so unsettling that it rewrites the laws of existence. Matter only becomes real when it is observed. The double-slit experiment is the ultimate proof of this phenomenon. In this experiment, scientists shot tiny particles, electrons, through two slits onto a screen. When not observed, the particles behaved like a wave, spreading out and creating an interference pattern as if they existed in multiple places at once. But when a conscious observer measured them, the wave collapsed into a single particle, taking a definite position. In other words, the mere act of observation forced reality to choose an outcome. Now let's pause and truly understand what this means. If a particle can exist in multiple states until it is observed, then reality itself is in flux, waiting for consciousness to shape it. Your thoughts, your awareness, your expectations, they are not passive elements of existence. They are the architects of it. This discovery has shaken the foundations of classical physics because it suggests something terrifyingly powerful. The universe is aware that it is being watched. This isn't spiritual metaphor. It's experimental fact. Even Albert Einstein was disturbed by this, calling it spooky action at a distance. But quantum mechanics goes even deeper. The phenomenon of quantum entanglement shows that two particles, even separated by vast distances, can instantaneously affect each other, as if they are connected beyond space and time. What does this mean for you? It means your consciousness is not local. It is not trapped inside your brain. It extends beyond time, beyond space. It is interwoven with the entire fabric of reality itself. But here's the most shocking part. This knowledge isn't new. Ancient civilizations, esoteric schools, and mystical traditions have always taught that reality is shaped by the observer, that the mind creates the world. The Hermetic principle of mentalism states, the all is mind, the universe is mental. The law of attraction, higher consciousness, and ancient knowledge all point to the same truth. Reality bends to perception. But here's the real question. If science has proven that your consciousness directly shapes reality, then why hasn't this knowledge been fully embraced? Why is it suppressed, ignored, hidden? Perhaps because a world full of awakened beings who understand that they are co-creators of existence is a world that cannot be controlled. But if reality is nothing more than a shifting probability, then what happens when you learn to control the shifts? What happens when you realize that you are not bound to a single version of reality, but are in fact moving between them every second? Reality is not a straight line, yet most people experience life as if they are moving along a single, unchangeable path, one day bleeding into the next, circumstances repeating themselves, patterns locking them into a loop they can't seem to escape. This is not by accident. The perception of a fixed timeline is an illusion, a carefully reinforced construct designed to keep human consciousness confined. In truth, every moment, every thought, every decision splits reality into multiple possibilities, each one leading to a different outcome. The problem is, most people unknowingly reinforce the same version of themselves over and over, trapping themselves in a cycle they could easily break, if only they realized how. There is undeniable evidence that reality is not as stable as it seems. The Mandela effect is a prime example. Millions of people share the same false memories of historical facts, brand names, and pop culture references, as if they have lived in a different version of reality. This phenomenon suggests that timelines are not fixed. They shift, merge, and split. More than that, it proves that consciousness can experience multiple realities but retain fragments of past versions. This isn't a glitch. It's proof that reality is malleable. Ancient mystics, quantum physicists, and even high-level government research into time perception all hint at the same truth. What you perceive as one continuous life is actually a series of shifting realities. The question isn't whether you can change your life, it's whether you can learn to shift timelines intentionally. Mastering timeline shifting means understanding that your vibration determines the version of reality you experience. Every emotion, belief, and expectation tunes your consciousness to a specific timeline. If you wake up expecting struggle, you align with a timeline where struggle exists. If you shift your frequency to align with abundance, love, and success, you step into a reality where those things are naturally present. This isn't magic. It's the mechanics of multidimensional existence. Those who consciously harness this power move between realities at will, bending probability and stepping into higher levels of existence effortlessly. The ability to shift is not reserved for the enlightened few. It is an inherent ability in all human beings, buried beneath layers of conditioning. But what if this ability could be activated? What if there were techniques hidden in ancient knowledge to deliberately tune into an entirely new version of reality? The answer lies in one fundamental principle: frequency. Everything in existence vibrates, from the tiniest subatomic particle to entire galaxies spiraling through space. But what most people fail to realize is that their own consciousness is a frequency transmitter, constantly tuning into different layers of reality. You don't live in one static world. You live in the world that matches your frequency. This is why two people can experience completely different versions of life, even when standing in the same place. One sees chaos, the other sees opportunity. One struggles endlessly, the other manifests with ease. They are not in the same reality. They are in different vibrational states, coexisting within the same physical space. What determines which version of reality you experience? The frequency you are emitting, whether you are aware of it or not. The universe is structured like a radio with infinite stations, each one broadcasting a different version of reality. Most people, unaware of their own power, remain locked into the same frequency for years, even lifetimes, unknowingly reinforcing the same patterns, relationships, struggles, and limitations. They don't realize they can turn the dial. Every thought, emotion, and belief is an energetic signature, dictating what version of reality unfolds before you. This is why those who raise their vibration through deep emotional shifts, meditation, altered states of consciousness, or even subconscious reprogramming, suddenly experience synchronicities, rapid manifestations, and a life that transforms seemingly overnight. They have tuned into a higher dimensional version of themselves. The key to shifting into a higher dimension is consciously altering your frequency. This is not wishful thinking. It is physics. Everything is energy. When you hold a certain emotion long enough, when you align your thoughts with a new identity, when you refuse to resonate with old limitations, your reality restructures itself to match your new vibrational state. This is why ancient civilizations and esoteric schools taught sacred sounds, visualization techniques, breath work, and energy work. These are not rituals. They are tools to tune your consciousness into higher realms of existence. The greatest deception ever created was convincing humanity that reality is rigid, that life is something to be suffered through instead of consciously designed. But those who understand frequency know the truth. You are not trapped in any single reality. You are simply tuned to one, and tuning into a new one is entirely within your power. There is a version of you right now, existing in another dimension, living the life you've only dreamed of. This isn't philosophy. This isn't speculation. This is the nature of reality itself. Science has already proven that consciousness is non-local, meaning it is not confined to the brain or even to this specific timeline. Your awareness is like a signal, capable of accessing multiple dimensions, multiple realities, multiple versions of yourself. This is why déjà vu happens, why vivid dreams sometimes feel more real than waking life, why people experience spontaneous memories of lives they have never lived. These are glimpses into parallel versions of reality, moments where your consciousness momentarily taps into another aspect of itself. What if you could learn to do this intentionally? What if you could step beyond this singular perspective and begin to operate as a multidimensional being? The process of unlocking your multidimensional self is not about gaining something new. It's about remembering what has always been there. Throughout history, secret societies, mystery schools, and esoteric traditions have passed down methods to expand human perception beyond this singular reality. These techniques, astral projection, lucid dreaming, deep meditation, energy manipulation, were never just about relaxation or spiritual entertainment. They were maps left behind by those who had already discovered the truth, that reality is a construct, and that consciousness is not bound to it. This is why so many ancient texts warn about the illusion of the material world. The real prison isn't physical, it's the mind that believes it is only human. So how does one activate this awareness? How does one consciously step into higher levels of reality? The first step is breaking the illusion of limitation, the belief that you are only this body, only this mind, only this life. That is the lock on the door of your consciousness. The key to that lock is experience. The more you observe the space between your thoughts, enter deep meditation, explore altered states of awareness, the more you begin to feel something incredible, the sensation that you exist beyond the self you have always known. It starts small, perhaps in dreams, in fleeting moments of knowing, in an unexplainable sense of expansion. But as this feeling grows, something profound happens. You stop seeing reality as something happening to you and start realizing that you are the one shaping it. And once that shift happens, the way back to limitation is no longer an option. Because when you awaken to your true, multidimensional nature, you don't just change your life, you change your entire existence. You realize that your consciousness is not locked into a single version of reality, but constantly shifting, adapting, moving between different dimensions. The trick is to do it intentionally, to align with the higher versions of yourself that already exist, to step into the life that resonates with your highest frequency. And the moment you begin doing this, the illusion of separation, struggle, and limitation collapses. Not because reality has changed, but because you have shifted into a higher reality where those limits do not exist. Once you know this, there is no going back.